Good morning. This is just an awesome opportunity for me to be up here in front of you, but I'm used to talking to just a few people down below, so I'm not used to this view. But I thought about what on earth do I have to share with you? I'm up here with these awesome CEOs and people that have this vast business experience, but yet I'm sitting on the bench every day. And I really started thinking about that and pondering about what could I do to give you some ideas or to inspire some of our younger people in the audience. And I thought that I would start out by telling a few stories and then start by telling about something that I did wrong and not telling you all the great things that I did, but what's a really major mistake that I made in my career. And when I moved home, I moved back to Springfield area in 2003. And in the course of my career, I joined a small firm, and I was not used to being in that position, where it was kind of I was the only associate in the firm. It was just a couple of secretaries and then a partner and another office, but I was in that middle spot. And I was coming in every day, and I was so excited about my job, and I just loved it. I loved the clients. I loved the law. But I would walk through this big open part of our office, and I would encounter two secretaries that would just talk terrible about the firm, about the people, how awful their day was, how terrible our clients were. And when you're dealing with people who are injured or who are hurting or who have been sued, obviously there's a lot of negativity in a law office. But they were just, it started wearing on me. And I was alone, and I really didn't realize how that spot where you're not leadership, but you're not staff, and it really started taking its toll on me in my day-to-day. And in the vacuum of leadership, in this situation, there wasn't a strong top-down leader. There was a person who worked behind a closed door that was really not available to me. And so I noticed as time and as the years went on, my personality kind of started changing. And I started noticing that job that I loved to go to was no longer exciting for me, and that grind started kicking in. And so what was I going to do about that? Well, I don't think I was old enough to do that self-inspection that I do on myself that I do now as a professional. And instead, I got down there and I wallowed in it with them. And I was certainly not the person that I wanted to be, and certainly not the crazy person that I am today. But then one night I was at home and I started thinking about my situation, and this phrase came up, "They shoot the nag." And that is just one of my favorite phrases if you see it in the brochure. And I come from a farm up in Cedar County, and so I've got that farming background, but we all know, the noun of nag, that's the horse. That's the one that gets killed first. And then you think about what's the verb, what's nag. We all have that nagging person, that negative voice. And so I don't want to be the noun or the verb. And but that lesson came to me a little too late in my career, and by then the relationship was not salvageable. But so what did I do? So I was going to tell you I did something wrong, and that was it. I let that negativity spread to me like a cancer. And that's what it is in your organizations. And so what did I do right? I moved to Frankie Schultz and Mullen, where I became managing partner. And I took those lessons, and I made sure when I did go in, I was that person that conveyed to my employees that we want to be here. We are serving a client, and we're doing that as a unified force. And I love doing what I do. And having that shine, I felt like that would go through my office to my employees. And I fought negativity at every turn. And we were a satellite office, and it's still here in Springfield, of a Kansas City firm. And when you sometimes have staff that want to criticize folks in Kansas City, I would say, nope, we're not going to do that. And I made sure that we were absolutely a unit. I would take time to have happy hours with the staff, do the mentorship things that we all talk about. We learn more from people that take time to eat with us and have lunch or have a happy hour, but to build that good camaraderie of your staff by being available, by being a teacher to them. And then also, I ran the office with an iron fist on that negativity. If I had an employee that started down that road, I made it very clear this was a one-way a one-way street. It was we weren't going to do it that way. And I had to let a lot of people go. But I built a great team together. And I think that when I look back, it's so much easier at my stage in my life to say, don't do this, don't fall trap to that. But that's because as we age, our personality gets more set. But I still fight that. And occasionally we will, you'll read something in the news about politics, or even in my job, I'm very visible. I mean, you can Google and all the things that everybody thinks I did right or wrong. But I go back at the end of the day and I think they shoot the nag, and I am not going to be that person in a meeting. I want to be the deal maker, not the deal breaker. And if you've got a problem, I'm going to think about how to create a solution. And that's what, and you're going to hear from Julie Higgins here in just a minute with I Pour Life. And we sat down one day downtown on in a little cafe and commercial and started talking about how do we help our homeless folks here in town, and what do we do to make a difference in our community. And so by just saying that, hey, we're going to make a positive change, instead of just complaining about those folks or saying, oh my gosh, isn't this a terrible thing that our community has? What can we do to be engaging and work for the rest of our group to make things better? And I don't really have as much of an opportunity to do that now that I'm on the associate circuit bench, because my day is vastly different, and I'm still working with people just in a different capacity. But I still try to take that with me every day. When I take that bench, I'm firm and I'm fair and I'm respectful. But I'm in a pretty good mood every single day that you see me, and I'm going to convey that. And of course, I know it's easier when you're in charge and people have to stand up when you walk in. Why would I not be in a good mood? I mean, really, seriously, I have the best job in the whole world. But I don't take myself too seriously. I remember that we're serving the public. That's what I am there for. I'm not a CEO of anything, and I'm just honored to be up here with these guys. But I am a public servant, and I really appreciate this opportunity. And thank you, Great Southern.